you'll warn me when I run out of time, will you? Okay, good. Unlike my previous colleague, I'm not fluent in Arabic, so we're going to have to live with English. I do have 3 words of Arabic, which is Yamina, Yasir, and Sida, but I don't think they work here. So please forgive me. To start off with, I'd like to really thank Beacon Events for putting this show together. I think it's a marvelous opportunity for us to showcase not only the region, but also the opportunities that I believe Saudi Arabia can offer to the exploration community. Now, the picture that I have here is actually of our Hawiyah project, and this is the main ridge of what we now call the camp load. And the reason I put this picture on is that this is the drill rig of our contractors, True East, and it's our discovery hole. We started that drilling in 2019, September 2019, and there was a moment of tension, I think, amongst the team as to what we would actually get. We ended up at 155 meters, intersecting 15 meters of massive sulfide, and the rest, as they say, is history. So what I'd like to do today, in the time that I've got available, is really just take you through a bit of an overview of our company, and then explain to you briefly what the Hawiyah project is, and one of the other projects that we have outgoing in Saudi Arabia. So with the next slide, is there some way that I can move the slides, or do I push the button here? Okay. Sorry, at my age, technology often beats me. One of our partners is a listed partner, so this is the standard disclaimer. I will be saying some things about future events, and obviously we know that the future is in no way certain. Golden Minerals was established in 2009, so we've been operating effectively in this country for the last 12 years. And our mission was really to find gold and base metal projects in the country, and not only to develop them, but operate them in a safe and environmentally sustainable way. I've distilled that down into 5 key words, which is our job is to explore and to discover, to build and to develop, and to operate. And finally, the most important thing of any mining company is to be able to contribute into the community. When we build a mine, we will employ in the region of 500 to 700 people, most of whom will be Saudi nationals. This is our corporate structure. You can see that one of our partners is Kefi Golden Minerals. They own 31% of the company. They're an AIM-listed company in the London Stock Exchange. And if you really want to follow up on the company, you can obviously go onto their website. And our other partner is the well-respected Al Rashid family, who are a 68% shareholder. So effectively, we're almost a Saudi national company. We have 3 areas that we're operating in. We've got 21 license applications, or under application at the moment. We obviously have the Jebel Qutman project, which we discovered in the 2014-2015 area, and then more recently the Hawiyah VMS project, which I will now talk about. We talk about Hawiyah, and everybody knows where Jeddah is, but nobody knows where Abu Raqqa is. And so I thought I would give you a short overview. The Hawiyah project is 320 kilometers east of Jeddah. It's accessed by very, very good roads. And one of the things that struck me about Saudi Arabia is the absolute star-studded nature of the infrastructure that we have. We have our regional office in Taif, which we've set up over the past year. And obviously that serves the local community. And then really in the more prosaic thing, we've built a camp which now hosts 50 people. And that camp is now fully catered for and up and running. And that is situated up in up at the Hawiyah field. There are main roads all within 30 kilometers of the site. And at the Kumra village, there's a 33 kVA power line, so getting power into this project is going to be the least of our problems. So what's Hawea? Well, it's a greenfield discovery. We made the discovery, as I said, in the beginning in 2019. In the last 3 years, we drilled 42,000 meters, and last week we announced our second mineral resource estimate of 24.9, so call it 25 million tons. It's a VMS, so it's a typical VMS. It's copper, zinc, gold, and silver, and that is now a matter of public record. And we're on track to bring this project into production in 2025. If it comes into production, it will be one of the 3 top largest base metal mines in this country. So it's a no mean thing. Our estimated capital for the project is somewhere between 200 and 300 million, which we will be mostly raising the funds locally. Exploration is never an easy business, and we were given this license in 2024. We weren't given the most warm welcome by the local community, who came to thought we were going to steal their camels and their gold. But we managed to do some trenching in 25, not an awful lot. We did an SP survey in 2016, and at that stage, the Ministry of Mineral Resources put all exploration on hold while they introduced the new mining regulation. We were then able to do nothing, and in October 2018, we were given the renewal on the license, and in January 2019, we actually started work. At that stage, there were 5 of us, and there was absolutely nothing out there in the field. So it's been a huge slog over the last 3 years. We did an IP survey in mid-2019. We started our phase 1 drilling in September, and that phase 1 drilling ended up in the discovery, and the rest is history. We did a phase 2 in early 2020. We declared a maiden resource of 19 million tons at that stage. We did an internal PEA and realized that we actually could make money for our shareholders on this basis. We then started in 2021 on a phase 3 and a phase 4, and over the last year we've done 29,000 million, is it, Tom? 29,000. It's 29,000 meters we did in the last year, so it's an awful lot of drilling. We've just given the updated MRE, and that's the 25 million tons that I've announced. Our plan is to complete the pre-feasibility study by the latter part of 2022. So we're a team in a hurry. Once we've got the PFS, then obviously the next steps will be for us to apply for a mining license, and then obviously we will go into the definitive feasibility study and into construction. And the only thing that my shareholders ask me is not how much is it going to cost, but when are we going to start producing? So that's anybody who's been in the game knows that it's not that easy. But I think that a 6-year period between what I regard as discovery and production is just about a record. It really does push the button on this size of project. So what is Hawea? Well, it's really a structure which is 5 kilometers long. If you Google it, go to Google Earth, you can see it from space. So it's got a Gossan ridgeline, which is here in red, and we've identified 3 areas. We've got the so-called camp lode in the south, and a crossroads lode in the area in the north, and then a central area, which quite frankly is reasonably unexplored at the moment. You know, when we were doing our discovery, we were just going and seeing what we could get, and when we got a sweet spot, we explored around it. So we will go back into the central area. It's actually a lovely ore body. It's almost vertical, so from a mining point of view, it's really going to be quite an easy project to develop and mine. The grades are reasonably consistent. It's a polymetallic ore body. And then we obviously have a small oxide cap, Below that, the transition zone, which is enriched in copper. And those two are important for us because it will allow us to, and we'll go on to that later, to get early high-grade production in this, and that helps with the economic feasibility of the study. What you can see here are the histograms of the grade, and you can see that the copper and the zinc grades are absolutely consistent throughout the ore body. On the oxide zone, clearly this is a leached area, and you would get the distribution that you're expecting here. But on average, it's about 1.7 grams a ton, so anybody putting that through a plant can make money. This is again the mineral resource statement. I can talk about that ad nauseum, but what it really does translate into is around about a 2 million ounce gold project, if you translate it into gold equivalent terms. And many people understand gold, so I put that into that context. And what is more important is that we have around about 8 million tons of open pitable material, which will obviously be the stuff that we would use for early production, given that it would be a lower cost thing. And then we would go into the underground, and we have 16 million tons at the present, bearing in mind that we will still continue to explore this project and grow it as we develop. All of these numbers were calculated on the current copper price and gold price. So, you know, obviously prices could change and things do change, but it's as good a place to start as any. Just to give you a sense of it, of this thing, it's 506, well, nearly 600 meters deep. So if anybody in Riyadh has seen the Kingdom Tower would still not hit the surface from this. It's a very, very deep deposit. But once again, because of its nature and structure, it will be very easy to mine. This is, now, I'm apologies for the non-technical people, I'm using technical terms. Because it's polymetallic, you can't work out the price of gold and put it into that. So what we do is we use the term NSR, net smelter return. So when you take all of the metals, you process them, you take off all the penalties that you would have to pay, and then you come back and you work out what the value is, you end up with an NSR average of about $107 a ton. Translate that into gold terms, it's around about 2.5 grams a ton on average, so at present day prices. So that gives you a sense of how we do it. But you can see the bright pink here. I mean, my geologists, of course, love colors. The bright pink tells you the higher grade areas, and those areas are valued at more than $120 a ton, and we would be technically doing most of that stuff through open pit mining, which is the low cost entree into it, and we'll see where we go. The scenario is to develop a 2 million ton open pit and underground mining operation. We'll use conventional flotation and SART. There, by the way, we've cribbed our friends from Al Masani. What we will do, which is different to you, is that we'll probably use a two-stage SART rather than a one-stage in order to actually maximize the copper and zinc recoveries. PFS, as I said, is on schedule for 2022. ESIA and groundwater studies, which are terribly important, have been ongoing and are well advanced. And we have the support of the local community. In fact, we have many of the people in the local community now beginning to work for us, so that's good. Just to put that into perspective, our PFS indicated that our mining cost would be somewhere between $45 and $50 a ton. So you can see that there is a reasonably good margin to be had on the project. Okay, I'm running out of time, but there it is. Hawea is not just our one-trick pony. 12 kilometers from here, we have the Al Gudja Gossans. This is a project that has just been awarded to us, and we're going to do a rapid exploration program. What's important here is that this is a 2-kilometer long structure. Grades on the surface are averaging about between 7 and 1.5 grams a ton, and the area around the Gossan is rotten with copper. So we're going to do that. What we also have is our Jabal Qutman project, and that Jabal Qutman project is out near Bisha, and we're busy working with the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources to try and get this thing permitted. We have a mining license application. It's so far got a resource of about 700,000 ounces. We believe that this should be expandable to well over 2 million ounces if we actually get all of the ground available. And we have already a plant. This study was done in 2015, gave an NPV of 16 million for a small heap leach open pit operation on the oxides. If you took that to today's prices, the NPV would probably be in excess of $100 million. So that very briefly is what we've done. And I thank you all for listening. It's been a really tremendous experience getting involved in Saudi Arabia. I must be honest and say it's not without its challenges, but you know, nobody gets into the mining business if they're scared of challenges. So that's it. Obviously, we look to the future, and we also thank you very much for your time and attendance.